Welcome to 3 Times Square this Wednesday from Reuters World Headquarters in New York. No cord cutting here as we focus on cable TV. Higher rights fees for sports programming for ESPN, a drag on Disney, but the force is still with the Dow component as it posted a profit that topped estimates and issued a strong forecast. The media giant planning on more movies related to its recently acquired Star Wars franchise. It's also experiencing growing attendance at its theme parks. At Time Warner, cable a profit driver, especially HBO, where subscription revenue rose partly due to gains in subscribers. Revenue at the movie unit fell 4%. The company is returning cash to shareholders. The board raised its dividend by 11% and authorized a $4 billion share buyback program that started earlier this year. Our power player of the day, adding to his cable assets. It's Liberty Media's John Malone, the company finalizing a nearly $16 billion deal to buy Virgin Media. It's Malone's biggest purchase ever in Europe and puts him in direct competition with Rupert Murdoch, who controls Britain's B-Sky B. Virgin Media has only half the UK cable subscribers as B-Sky B, but its 4.9 million customers just pads Malone's European total, where he is already the cable king. From cable to the internet, the NASDAQ is reportedly trying to resolve some of the complaints over its handling of the botched Facebook IPO. The Wall Street Journal says it's in talks with the SEC about settling part of the matter for a $5 million penalty. NASDAQ has already offered a compensation plan of $62 million for firms harmed in the debut, but the proposition received mixed reviews, with UBS, Citigroup, and other parties speaking out against it. Dogs will soon have one less thing to bark at on weekends. The U.S. Postal Service plans to end mail delivery on Saturdays beginning August. The Postal Service drastically needs to cut costs and stem losses. It had reported a record annual loss last year as more Americans turned to email to send messages. But the agency will keep delivering packages, which is a growing profitable business, said a congressional source. Expectations for some art may be getting out of hand. Pablo Picasso's portrait of his mistress sold for $45 million at a Sotheby's auction. Prices for high-end art have soared in recent years despite economic uncertainty as rich Chinese, Russian, and Middle East collectors flock to auctions, raise their paddles, and help push up prices. But the winning bid for that Picasso, woman sitting near a window, was actually on the lower end of estimates. It had been expected to fetch between $39 and $55 million. Now remember, it was just 2 years ago that a Picasso, also painted in the same year, 1932, set a new world record for artwork, a whopping $106.5 million for nude green leaves and bust, making this one less than half that price. That's the latest from 3 Times Square this Wednesday. You can follow us on Twitter at Reuters Insider and get more Reuters videos at Reuters.com/ReutersTV. I'm Fred Katayama, and this is Reuters.